Hi, everyone. I'm Jana Short, founder of Health Influencers Mastermind. And tonight I'm here interviewing Cathy McKinnon. I am so grateful to have the opportunity to come to all of you live for the next 3 weeks with live expert interviews. I do this 4 times a year where I introduce you to some pretty incredible global influencers. And today I'm honored to feature Cathy. She is an internationally best-selling author of the top-selling infertility book based on real personal stories. She's also the founder of Wellness Warrior Coaching and one of my favorite experts to work with. Welcome, Cathy, and thank you for taking the time to talk with us tonight.
Thank you for having me. I always enjoy our chats.
I do too, and now I get to chat with everybody. So, Cathy, I know that everybody's probably interested to know a little bit about your background and what you do. Do you want to share that with us?
Sure, absolutely. So I'm a transformational coach, and the reason I call a transformational coach is I do not just focus on diet. I do not just focus on exercise. I look at the person as a whole being, mind, body, and energy, and really help them build that energy and confidence to get that desired life that they're dreaming of. And it's a full body and mind overhaul.
I love that. What led you to doing this, though? I know that you have a little bit of a story behind. You didn't just say, I'm going to start doing this, right?
Yeah, being a health coach, wellness coach, transformation coach was never on my radar growing up. I can tell you that. Through my own transformation, my own research, my own health complications with cancer, with infertility, all these things really led me to saying, it's time for me to clean up my life. And as I was doing that and I was transforming myself and healing all the things that I need to heal from, all my miscarriages, I started to show up differently. And the people around me were asking, like, what are you doing? Like, we want some of that, whatever that is that you've got. Like, how you have so much going on. You're a single mom, you work, all this going on, and you're still laughing and joking and having fun with life. And I was like, yes, this is how life should be. You should still be able to have fun. And so I started branching out, and a friend came to me one day and said, why aren't you doing this for more people? Why aren't you doing this to help so many more women that you could help? And when I didn't have a good reason to say no, that told me that it was time to open the box and offer this up to the universe.
I love your story, and that's one of the reasons that I was to you is because of your powerful story. So first of all, I love your warrior attitude in your coaching, and that is what you call it, a coaching business. And I feel like all of us women should be, don't you ever just stand there in the mirror like, I'm a warrior, like a super I love it.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your coaching style.
Sure. So again, my coaching style is a little bit wellness coach, a little bit life coach, a little bit tough love. But what I really do is sit down with my client and I ask them, the initial first thing is, if no circumstances, no current constraints, if you had that ultimate vision for yourself, what would it look like? How would you act? How would you feel? And if you embody that future version of yourself, and once you have that version of yourself and you've got it laid out, and we can almost draw it and detail it on what she acts like, how does she feel, how does she move, and then we look at the 5 big areas of life, right? We look at health, we look at money, we look at relationships, we look at your calling, and we look at your connection to something greater. And we look at these 5 areas and we say, where are we at today? And where do we want to go? And then we develop habits and action steps and goals to close that gap, to get you closer and closer to that ultimate version of yourself.
So I love your coach. Not only do I love this woman's coaching, she's one of the only coaches that I've worked with that I trusted enough to work with someone very precious to me, and it was magical. So she really knows her stuff, and it was completely out of her area, I think, of comfort when I asked her to do it, but it worked out really beautifully. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Now I know you're adding another title to your list of accomplishments, and I am so proud of you. I want you to tell us about best-selling book that you have out, Silent Grief, Healing and Hope. I think it is amazing.
Oh, it was such a journey. So thank you for bringing that up. It was, I would say, self-healing on steroids, because it forced me to address all those things that I had put in the back of my mind. Here I was coaching women on, you need to heal. We need to deal with all these things in the back of your mind. And so that's why I knew it was time for me to face my own demons and face my own hurt. And I initially signed on to the book and I said, you know what, I need to do this for my own healing because it still triggers me. And if it's triggering me, it means that it still needs work. And after I did that, it was made me so even nauseous, nervous to say, oh my goodness, the whole world is going to read my story. But now I'm 1,000 pounds lighter. Now I've been able to release that. I've been able to completely heal. I've been able to now talk to other women about healing and sharing these stories, and the 14 other women in this book that shared their story, their vulnerable stories, their deep stories. Our sole purpose for doing this was to let other women know, like, you are not alone and you are not broken. And together we can help each other heal through this.
I love that. Your message is a lot like mine. It's a message of hope. So I love what you've done with your book. I know that you're not done as an author. I know you have a lot of amazing projects coming out. Do you want to tell us what you have planned for 2020?
Oh, there's some top secret projects, but we do have a few more books coming out. I think Jana knows of 2 of them, but there is one that will be launching here February 2nd. So that's very exciting.
And you can't tell us any details. You'll just have to wait and follow her.
I can't. There will be images and banners, I would say, in the next few days.
Awesome. Then definitely start stalking this girl, because it was a matter of what weeks that your book became an international best-selling book.
Yeah,
so
it was a best-sell number 2 or 3 in the US within 48 hours. I think Canada was within a few days. In Germany, we were like 3rd or 4th. So it was very quick.
So what I love about you so much, Cathy, is you have the same kind of platform I do. We've learned that we're pretty powerful women, but we are so much more powerful when we grab on to other women with the same sort of stories and the same message of hope, and we combine that with each other. It's like collaborating really is a new networking, and when you can collaborate with other amazing women like you, I know we've got a book coming out together.
We do. 2, I think.
Yes, 2. So I know getting ready to release probably before your February book, but we can't tell you.
Can't tell.
We'll have all of us. But I'm really excited about those. And I love that you gathered with other people with the same sort of message. So I have one question for you. I have this question for a lot of experts. And it's kind of a weird question, but I love the answer because it really makes you think about what you want to leave, what kind of impact you want to make on the world. But if you could be remembered for one thing, what would that be and why?
First thing that comes to the top of my head is being compassionate and kind. It's truly something that I embody and I teach my son. And above all else, no matter what the job title is, no matter what the career is, being compassionate and being kind is of utmost importance in this world.
So Cathy's son, by the way, you can tell that she's definitely taught him these qualities, because he was one of my guests on my podcast, Oh My Health, There Is Hope. We had a whole children's segment right at the end of the year in December. And the kids talked about what nutrition meant to them and what it meant to create a ripple effect with the way you behave and the things you do in your life. And he was phenomenal. I hope to have him back again soon.
He would love it. He was very excited for the podcast. He was very excited to share the recording at school. And I told Jana about this, but there is a top secret project that my son came up with on his own based on her podcast. So I'm actually just honored that my son would come up with such a project. So we will be unveiling that in due time as well.
Well, I do know, and I'm not going to say anything, but I was really by it that something like that can make an impact on them. That was awesome. I'm looking at, I had someone type in saying that they've heard the podcast and loved it. It was so sweet.
That's cute.
It was amazing. So if you want to tell our listeners how they can connect with you, like I know you're everywhere, but how can they learn more about your book or find out when your new one's coming out? Where can they go to find you?
I'm on Facebook and on Instagram under Wellness Warrior Coaching. And I will always post on there anytime we've got something exciting launching or events coming up. So Instagram or Facebook is the place to be.
That's where I found her. And I stalk her quite often. So, so Cathy, is there anything you want to say before we sign up? Because I know when we go live, I know people have like about 15 minutes that can really focus in to meet a really amazing expert. And we still have a little bit of time. So if you have anything you want to reach out and say, please do.
You know what? I would just say, if nothing else, let this be the year that you take charge of your health and your life and really take ownership and ask those questions to those doctors and care teams and really learn and understand your body and what you're doing to your body.
I had a couple questions asking where they can find your book. So we'll put a link in all of I'll go in and put a link everywhere in the feed so that you can find her book. And I had someone ask if you work with women with infertility or if you're just your story.
No, I do. I've coached a few women with infertility struggles, typically on the mindset and the healing. And that is an event that I was actually asked to host coming up in February, is holding space for healing for women going through infertility struggles. So I'm absolutely will work with women with infertility struggles.
Well, there you go, guys. You can connect with her on Facebook or Instagram. She has a lot of really good content she shares with people. So get to know this expert. I love that it's only 4 times a year that I bring you a group of experts that you get to meet. And I've really challenged them and found out a lot about them before we bring them to you. So she's real. So you're going to want to connect with her.
It's as real as it gets.
Is. I trust her with someone very precious to me that I would have had a hard time trusting anybody else with, and she was amazing. So thank you, Cathy.
Thank you for allowing me to have that space.
And I am trying to see, what is your favorite thing to work with clients on is somebody else's question.
Oh goodness. You know, I initially started this journey as I wanted to be a health coach. And the more and more that I delve into it, of course, health is wealth. Health is so important. But there's such a mindset piece to it that, you know, so many of us glance over. Myself, I've been there before as well, that I really need to tap into. And I spend a lot of time with my clients working on that mindset and busting those limiting beliefs.
I love that. I love mindset too, because when I talk to my experts, I constantly hear blocks. Oh, that's a block. You know, you're sitting in the back of your head, whoop, that's a block. And you're trying to show them in a mirror what a block looks like and that you might have so that they can recognize it and change it. So I think mindset is incredible what we can do when we just change our mind. And I agree with infertility. If we keep thinking every time we get pregnant, we're going to fail or it's going to be a disaster or we have all that fear built up, it's really a horrible environment to try to create new life. So I think that mindset is a major key for creating that family that you want.
Yeah, I always tell my clients, you know, especially those women that are struggling, you know, don't do what I did. Don't hold on to all that anxiety and all that stress because, as we know, stress hinders our health, right? Cortisol levels raise. We can't harbor a positive environment to receive and grow this baby if we're constantly stressed and tense and anxious. So as challenging as it is during those struggles in that time, we have to learn to let as much of it go as we can and live in the present.
So I'm going to ask this last question that came in. And I think I've talked to you, I don't think you do this, but they were asking if you use NLP or ITT in your programs.
I do not know.
I didn't think we'd ever talked about that. So it is a huge mindset thing, but I know that what Cathy does works. Again, I trusted her with someone very dear to me. And for quite a while they worked together and it again was magical. So I highly recommend her as an expert. So thank you again, Cathy, for coming and joining us. You can find her tell her how they can find you again.
Facebook and Instagram, both under Wellness Warrior Coaching.
I would definitely follow her and grab her book. I'm going to go in and put that in all the links so that everybody can get to her. Thank you guys. And we'll see you tomorrow. I think we have London Salza. So I cannot wait.
Ooh, I got to tune in for that one.
You love her?
I love her.
all you guys. I only bring a few of you each quarter, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.